and welcome to All My Friends Are Right Here. I'm your host today, Scott. We're going back to a favorite game of ours called the Music Decade, and this time we're looking at the 1980s. So excited. Can't wait to tell you how we play the game. But first, let me introduce my guests, my panelists, my competitors, my friends. In San Antonio, Texas, Vince.
Yamo be there.
In Los Angeles, California, Chase.
Tubular.
And in Austin, Texas, Dylan.
It's the power of love, Scott.
It is the power of love, guys. That's what brought
Guys,
us
I want
all.
a new drug. I want a new drug.
Or I should mention that we're only nominating Huey Lewis songs this episode. I hope everybody...
Artist of the decade.
Artist of the decade, Huey Lewis, whose drummer my mom once dated. True story.
Wow.
Could have been, Great Uncle Huey. It could have been. So
They put on a hell of a show, by the way. I saw them a couple of years ago. They still put on a hell of a show. Huey Lewis in the News.
Good for him. Anyone ever see that movie he did about karaoke?
No.
Did we not talk about it on our karaoke episode?
I don't think so.
Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow, and they are professional karaokeers.
Is that duets?
Duets, yes. It's called
Oh, I
Duets.
thought it was like a documentary that Huey Lewis made.
No. It is a film, and it has just the strangest scene ever of Paul Giamatti and Andre Braugher singing a soulful rendition of "Try a Little Tenderness." Just very weird, very weird.
He wrote and directed that?
Who? Huey Lewis?
Yeah.
No, he's in it.
Oh,
He
I was like,
stars in
holy, wow.
No, he stars in it.
It's just too loud.
It's just a strange thing. But we're not talking about duets. We might be talking about Huey Lewis, but we are talking about the music of the 1980s. We're playing a game called the Music Decade, and the way it works is this. Each of us will judge a few years out of the 80s, and the rest of us, the other three, will nominate the best song of that year. Best song in 1980, 81, so on and so forth. And the judge will have to pick from the three nominations. So at the end of the game, we will have the 10 songs that absolutely 100% set in stone define the 1980s. And we do have one little rule, which is that once an artist has been selected, that artist can no longer go back up on the board. You can nominate an artist as many times as you'd like if they're not selected, but once their song is selected, they're gone. So
What happens to all the artists that aren't selected? They die?
You mean such as Led Zeppelin in our 1970s episode?
Yes, what happens to them?
they are sued, and Stairway to Heaven is accused of being stolen. That's what happened. That's literally what happened to Led Zeppelin after we did not pick them in the 1970s.
Oh, no.
7 years bad luck.
It's 7 years bad luck for Led Zeppelin. They were due.
So Scott, I know that like Sting and the Police were both around this era.
Yes. So the rule is if it's a different entity, such as Sting and the Police or Peter Gabriel and Genesis, although I think Peter Gabriel was out of Genesis by the 80s, so that might be
I think Phil Collins was concurrently
Phil Collins is certainly a better example. So that's a different artist that doesn't count. So you can nominate Susa Studio and you can nominate Misunderstanding. Two fine songs. However, if you select two artists who just worked together, not under a different name, for instance, Mick Jagger and David Bowie, then both of those artists off the board. Hopefully it's not too confusing. If it is, I promise it'll make sense as we go. And before we get started, I just want to let you know how to find us on the internet. You can check us out at allmyfriendsarerighthere.com. All our shows are there, all our other shows besides this one. There's a lot of good ones. You can find us on Twitter at We're Right Here. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/allmyfriendsarerighthere. And of course, iTunes, where you can find all the episodes. Subscribe, rate, and review. We would appreciate it. Guys, it's time to play the game. Dylan gets to judge the first year, and that year is 1980. How you feeling, Dylan?
I feel good.
Okay.
My tactic is not to do any homework on the years I'm judging, so it is up to you to surprise me.
Good. Then you are going to be surprised at how much Kendrick Lamar came out in the 1980s.
Ooh.
Vince, you get to make the first nomination.
Okay. I realized very quickly that this could have become every single nomination from me for Hall & Oates. But I'm just gonna do one Hall & Oates song. I'm gonna pick my favorite Hall & Oates song, and it's 1980s. You Make My Dreams Come True.
Fantastic choice. That's a great
Which
Hall & Oates
I
song.
don't think was a single in 80, but it came off of their album Voices in 1980. So
It counts. Then it counts. That is the other rule. You can go by album year or single year.
Vince, you're taking it heavy right off the board, man. That's a bold move.
It's a fine song. It's
That's a great song. It's
highly
a great
danceable,
song.
highly karaokeable.
I love this band though. I love Call & Oates. I think Dylan, did you show me Call & Oates? Where
You cannot nominate a telephone number.
You call a number and then it asks you press 1 for Maneater, press 2 for You Making My Dreams Come True.
No way.
Yeah.
I did it recently, and I selected "Rich Girl," which is a favorite Hall & Oates song.
Oh God, they're so good, right? Ugh.
Pretty great.
Well,
That's why I'm really nervous.
Kiss on
Look,
my
Vince,
list.
It's a great pick, but God, we're like one song into a whole decade, and
Well-
we'll see. We'll see.
I have the next nomination, and I am going to go in the exact opposite direction. This song, I guess not exact opposite in like the grand scheme of music.
I'm excited to hear what is the opposite of Hall & Oates.
But in feeling, I would argue it is. This is a bouncy, happy, fun song. The song I'm nominating is not. It's a song that I don't entirely expect to get chosen, but it is one of my all-time favorite top 10 songs, and so I'm honor-bound to nominate it. And that song is Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division.
Sweet Bull. Sweet
is
Bull.
Not a happy song, but I think it's just a terrific song. And I would argue that it's pretty indicative of where music is and has been and is going in the year 1980. That definitely that bridge from the kind of punky new wave of the 70s into the more mainstream new wave of the 80s, the more danceable new wave. And it's just a really striking song that I love a lot.
I like picks that, and I'm not trying to foreshadow what my pick is going to be, or what my judgment's going to be. But I feel like these years and these decades have all been talked about a lot. So if we just come up and pick what we think are like the 3 best songs or the top of the charts for these years, that's going to be kind of boring. So I enjoy making picks and seeing picks that are more, like you said, indicative of and representative of what the year might have sounded like. That might not necessarily have been a number one on everybody's list, right?
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
This song is covered to hell and back too, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I can think of a few. I know there's a Jose Gonzalez cover that's pretty popular. There is a Broken Social Scene cover that, let me tell you what, Broken Social Scene performs this song in the movie The Time Traveler's Wife, which was just one of the strangest experiences of my life. I can't say much for The Time Traveler. I can't say the title, apparently, is what I can't say. I can't say much for The Time Traveler's Wife, but Broken Social Scene performs Love Will Tear Us Apart, and Rachel McAdams is naked. So you can make your own. I may have listed the only good things about that movie, and they may happen in like a 30-second span, but they both happen in this movie.
Yeah, that song's also played. Amanda Palmer has a band called Evelyn, where she plays a conjoined twin with another man. And they sing Love Will Tear Us Apart as their encore for their shows. It's very weird.
Yeah,
I almost picked Isolation, so this is fun to get this off the board.
Nice.
I don't know if that was 80 though or 81, but I think you also forgot that Fall Out Boy covered this song, Scott. Don't act like it's not your ringtone.
Yeah, let's say I forgot that. Let's say that's what happened. How is the Fall Out Boy cover of Love Will Tear Us Apart, Chase?
To be honest, I don't remember.
So fantastic is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely checking it out after this. I have to know what it sounds like.
Pretty sure it's them. God forbid it's Panic at the Disco. It's one or the other.
Okay. We'll figure it out. And Chase, you have the third and final nomination for 1980.
All right. So just a little context. 80s was much harder for me, actually, I'd say, than 90s. And I feel like as the decade goes on, I honestly have less and less songs that I wanted to put up for this. So 80s kind of my strongest year, which is tough. I think what I'm going to have to do, though, and I'm not going to tee it up with any cultural analysis, but this is definitely my favorite song by this band that put out a ton of great stuff throughout the 80s. And this would be Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads.
Great choice. This was a strong number 2 on my list.
I was going through Wikipedia through like 1980 and then albums released, and this was fairly late in the year. It was in October, but I've been making this was the first list of the day I was making, so I was being really lenient. I got to that song and I just stopped. I didn't even look at November or December. I was like, oh, this is it.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's their talk about a band that was really like changing into something in 1980.
Yeah.
Compared to their late 70s output, which is fantastic, but Remain in Light is just really, really a seminal album and a band that, like, to this day, it's baffling that they were as popular as they were in the 80s. I mean, it makes sense
so
because
weird, but
they
so
made
good.
fantastic, catchy music, but I mean, will we ever see a band like Talking Heads be that popular again? I kind of feel like no, but who knows?
Well, we just talked about them, right? Fall Out Boy.
Well, we did have Fall Out Boy, who've always pushed the boundaries.
Fish has an overlapping audience with the Talking Heads.
Don't say that to me, Vince.
Vince.
Am I wrong?
But Fish never. No, I think you're correct. But in terms of like the audience, but Fish never had the commercial appeal or success that Talking Heads had.
They're not using Fish songs in Wreck-It Ralph trailers.
That's true. That's true.
I just love Stop Making Sense. I think that's the best concert album video I've ever seen.
It absolutely is.
There's nothing like it.
Without a doubt. Apologies to certain members of our retinue who have a great fondness for The Last Waltz, but Stop Making Sense is the greatest concert film of all time, and it ends there for me. And there's a great performance of this song in there. But Dylan, you have 3 real Cracker Jacks to choose from here. You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall & Oates, Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, and Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads.
All good songs. There is one song, though, that, like I said, I didn't do any research on any of my years, but there's one song on here I was looking for in some of my previous years, and I didn't know that it came out in 1980 because I was ready to pick it before even doing any research, and that's Once in a Lifetime, Talking Heads.
Oh man,
right.
I can't get away from that song in my life. I feel like there's certain songs you feel like that you hear more than just multiple times a year consistently for your entire life, and you never get tired of hearing it. I feel like this is one of those songs.
Listen, I can't blame you.
Ever was.
I am a little upset that you've just knocked out my top pick for 1983, which is This Must Be the Place, which is my personal favorite Talking Heads song. But look, I'm not mad at this list of ours starting off with a Talking Heads song and with that song being Once in a Lifetime. Which is
this is strong.
Fantastic.
This is a good start, guys.
So Chase is on the board. We move to the next year, which is 1981. Vince, you have the first pick. Do you want to give it? Or no. I'm sorry, you're judging this year, rather. Yes. I apologize. Do you want to give away any of your strategy or what you're looking for? Or you just want to hear?
I did not even look at 1981, so I'm going to be surprised. You'll start seeing a trend through my picks of what I like to pick, but we'll spoil that later.
Interesting. All right.
I think now's a good time to pause and remind everybody that about a year ago, Vince said that he didn't listen to any popular music before 2003.
No, so I believe it was 1999.
1999. So he's a great addition to these podcasts.
So,
yeah.
So
all
there's
right.
gonna be I'll just tell you right now. There's gonna be a lot of camp in all of my picks, and I tried to abstain from just picking song themes, but or movies from songs from movies. But
songs from different
Yeah.
Muppet movies.
Yep.
Very.
Luckily,
Yeah.
no
if
Mortal
Alvin and the
Kombat came
Chipmunks-
out in the 80s.
if Alvin and the Chipmunks covered it, I probably will pick it.
Vince wrecked.
That's you in a nutshell. Okay. Well, look, I have the first pick here. I will tell you guys, there are 2 songs on this year that just the fact that one of them can't be on, it destroys me. And I had to go back and forth. And then I think there's a third really strong dark horse, but it's really down between 2. I'm even wrestling with it a bit now, but I think this is the right choice. My suggestion for 1981 is Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie.
Pressure pushing down on me, pressing down on you. No man has fallen under pressure. The burns it feels and down, strips the family in two, puts people on streets.
How did I not even come across that?
Yep. Yeah.
And look, here's what I'm going to say, because the best way to argue a pick is, especially early, is to say, well, if you pick that, both of those people are off the board. Now you're taking Queen and David Bowie off the board for the 1980s. To which I would respond, is there a better song for either of these artists? And I think there is. There are Queen songs I like better, and there are David Bowie songs I like better. But at the end of the day, to have such a great song from each artist, I think it's a 2 for 1. That's all I'm saying. And it's a fantastic song, Under Pressure.
It's an amazing song. Great pick. Essential pick.
Chase, you have the next pick.
So I don't think there are many other bands of the prog rock nature that get a lot of credit, but this one certainly does. It's our Canadian brethren, Rush, with Tom Sawyer.
Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events.
Oh, I like this pick.
Ooh.
I like this pick.
I love this song. I bought a Rush Greatest Hits out of nowhere at the end of high school, and just like it weirdly blew my mind. I was like, do I like this? I don't know if I like this, but I liked it. And Tom Sawyer is one that, man, back when all my stories always come back to Rock Band and Guitar Hero, if you guys don't know this about me. They were touring college, and Rock Band came by with a trailer, and they'd set up the game because it was new, and they were trying to win people over. And there was this kid in front of me that played Tom Sawyer and got through it, and I got on the drums to play Tom Sawyer. Never played the game before, didn't really know how it would work, didn't translate, and I failed. And this kid turns to me, he's like, "Can't keep up with Neil Peart, eh?" Douche.
You idiot.
So, despite that tainting, I still love Tom Sawyer. This was also a close choice between YYZ as well from the same album, but I went with Tom Sawyer.
I'm doing a dumb thing here by putting a bug in Vince's ear for someone else's song, but I always think about, I believe it's this song. There's a great scene in Freaks and Geeks of Jason Segel's character hearing this song for the first time. Or no,
yes.
I'm sorry. I think he's playing this song.
Playing it on his giant drum set he keeps.
Yeah.
Yes, and
For Hawkeye's wife, yeah.
that's right. And
Vince.
and Linda Cardellini's dad, right, makes him listen to Buddy Rich instead. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
And he's blown away by that. Yeah. Anyway.
There was a whole episode of the Goldbergs dedicated to Tom Sawyer as well. I know this is.
It's a Goldbergs podcast.
Oh, God.
You thought it was gone. Yeah, one of the girls, the whole episode, she starts dating this guy who's really into Rush, and she's like, "I'm not into Rush," and then like she keeps listening to Tom Sawyer. She's like, "I think I am into Rush." And the whole episode was dedicated. The A plot was dedicated to Tom Sawyer by Rush.
See, now I can't think of Rush and then not think of "I Love You, Man." the
Yeah.
movie with Paul Rudd and
Yeah,
Jason
that's
Segel.
right.
Also with Jason Segel.
Yeah, also Jason Segel, who clearly loves Rush.
I do think,
Clearly a big Rush head.
I don't mean to be this guy, but I do think it's Spirit of Radio, actually, in Freaks and Geeks, to be honest. I don't think it's Tom
okay.
Sawyer.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think you're
That's-
speaking to my lack of knowledge of the Rush catalog.
And we can't all be on top of it.
I know.
Spirit of Radio was 1980.
No, there's a 50% chance that I hear any Rush song and I'll assume it's Tom Sawyer.
I know Tom Sawyer and I know Fly By Night. And I think that might be the beginning and end.
You
of
know
my,
others.
I probably
Limelight,
know.
Red Barchetta. You know that stuff.
Sure. Let's say I know it. Let's say I know it. We move on to Dylan for the last pick of 1981.
All right, here's what I'm going to do here. I think there's two pretty good songs ahead of me, one really good song ahead of me. I'm going to pick one that I is on my list still, but more than anything is just always like a fucking rockin' fun song. I'm going to pick I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Oh, nice pick.
Man, great. I almost went with Bad Reputation. That was my reissue issue.
Oh, I love her version of Bad Reputation.
Great pick, though.
Wasn't that the theme song for Freaks and Geeks?
Oh, God, you're right. Triggered.
Dylan, I believe you're reading the new Chuck Klosterman book, But What If We're Wrong? Is that correct?
I am.
Have you gotten to a section on rock and roll yet?
No, I have not.
He has a really good section where he talks about how there's three kinds of music: rock and roll, and rock. And he describes them, I think, pretty well, what each one is and what it specifically sounds like. And then he points out that pretty much any song named rock and roll, or rock and roll is the wrong version of it. Like, for instance, I Love Rock and Roll is not a rock and roll song. It is a rock song.
But Rock Around the Clock Tonight?
Rock Around the Clock Tonight is a rock and roll song, not a rock song. So they're all wrong. I think the only band who actually got theirs right was Led Zeppelin. That was the only band who got their genre right. But yeah, pretty much everybody. I just thought that was funny.
But as we proved in our previous episode, history will not remember Led Zeppelin.
It's true. They're into their 7 years of bad luck. Well, we'll find out soon who on this list is into their 7 years of bad luck. But Vince, you have three songs to choose from: Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, Tom Sawyer by Rush, and I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett.
These are all very good songs. Scott, for our listeners at home, is the Spotify playlist that you're going to be putting up, is that going to be just these 10 songs or all 30 of the songs?
Oh, it'll be every song that's nominated, all 30 songs. And you can find that by going to our show notes, and I'm sure we'll also put it on our various social media platforms. But if you're listening to this on your listening device and scroll over into the show notes, you'll see the link right there.
All right. I'm going to have to go with Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie.
That's the right choice.
I just like it's one of the later verses where Bowie and Mercury are singing. I think that really just like elevates that song to like another level.
Yeah, it really, like, every time I listen to it, I'm like, it's kind of fucking amazing that this song got recorded, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that it's good. Like, there's a lot of those kind of, collaborations, and I believe they only collaborated on like 3 songs. I think 2 of them never saw the light of day, but it's rare that because it's a small sample size, it's rare that you really hit it out of the park with one.
Sorry, guys, that I took off Princes of the Universe and the Flash Gordon soundtrack.
Yeah. Buy all of Hot Space. Before we move on, can I pour one out for the song that was neck and neck with Under Pressure for me?
Let's do it.
Sure.
Genius of Love by Tom Tom Club. I love that song. Man, I love that song. Anyway, okay. Moving on to 1982. I'm the judge, so time to impress me. Chase, you are up first. What you got?
Oh, man. If this was Vince, I'd lean hard on the cheese, but I think I'm going to go. Well, this might still be cheese to somebody.
All 4 of my selections are super cheesy.
This song will always remind me of playing GTA Vice City. Just like 8th grade and cruising around Miami.
Quintessentially 1980s.
Yes.
Oh, you baby. 8th grade. Oh.
Shut up. I know, I shouldn't have been allowed to play it, right?
I think it was our senior year of high school. Yeah, okay.
I would just drive straight back and forth on this one strip of road, just going as fast as possible, trying to hit motorcyclists head on, because motorcycles were new in Vice City.
And okay, on the video game, got it.
Yeah. And I would be mowing them down to I Ran So Far Away by a Flock of Seagulls.
And I ran
Yeah, great pick.
I love that sound of that song. Even if it came out today, it would be great. I love that kind of. I don't know what kind of era that is or what that sound really is, but there's some bands these days that really can evoke that, but have a little bit of like an edge to it, and I just like it. I think
would
they
say
started
that's
something.
certainly new wave, right? I think that would be Flock of Seagulls, especially. That's pretty new wave.
Yeah, but like it's more like a, is it like a post? It's a little more post punk, I think. New wave,
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's
at least
fair.
a mix.
Yeah,
But
that's
I love it.
definitely that's a song that's indicative of this decade for sure.
And there were some other good ones on here too.
And the
Definitely
hair.
a one-hit wonder that I wish I could have done.
You know, you've got an iconic haircut, which is as important as anything in this decade.
Yes.
Good pick, Dylan. You are next up.
Scott, did you do any research on your years that you're picking for?
You know I did, man. You know I did.
Was this I feel like this was a big year, right? I feel like there's a lot of songs this year that don't necessarily sound like they're from the 80s that I could go with.
Maybe so. My list, I will say I have. This is maybe a year where I have less big names. But I have some songs I really love on my list.
There's a lot of directions I can go in. And I don't know what to throw up on the board for posterity. And I'm really kind of torn. I just thought I would say that. I'm not expecting you to say anything. I just don't know what to do.
You're okay, noted.
Okay. Can I pose a question to the group?
Sure.
Would we rather have something that exists on this list in the great halls of history that sounds more like it's of this time, or are we just going for songs that are just good songs that were released this year?
So you're asking a person who put Mortal Kombat on the last list.
I believe that was stricken from the record, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That is not on the list.
It was chiseled out of that great granite that we carve all of these into.
Our 1990s decade came out like maybe a week or two before our Mambration, and we just had that whole soundtrack on loop, and it was just like, holy shit, we came up with like a good mix. So I would be content just to like for somebody to just dump 30 tracks from the 80s on and be like, man, this was really good. You know what I'm saying? Rather than like 1982, like I mean, it came out in 82, so it's obviously a product of its time.
I think with all due respect to the history books, what's going to be important from this podcast is the mix. So make us a good mix, Dylan. That's what I would say.
I'm gonna pick.
Struggle.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the one I keep going to, but we got to take a minute at the end to kind of pour one out for some of the other ones on my list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Gypsy Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, nice pull. That was on my list, and I thought no one would take it.
Yeah, it's drawn to it.
Gypsy is a great song, and Mirage is a great album.
Great. Maybe it might be my favorite Fleetwood Mac song. I'm not sure, but it's up there for me.
Dylan, I was having a conversation with your wife this weekend and was telling her, we were talking about Fleetwood Mac, and I was telling her that a lot of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs are Stevie Nicks songs, but behind every good Stevie Nicks song is a great Christine McVie keyboard line.
Oh.
And Gypsy is a terrific example of this.
Ooh, I like that.
The other thing I would recommend to listeners is go on to YouTube and find the Stevie Nicks demo of Gypsy, which is just her at like an organ or an electric piano or something, and it's gorgeous. But yeah, good pick.
Sounds
Good
nice.
pick. Vince, what you got?
Okay, well, I had thought about doing Just Like the White Winged Dove by Stevie Nicks, but I'm not going to do that.
Edge of 17, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the Teenage Wasteland situation.
Yeah, it's like that. I know. I tend to go by the parenthetical because that's what I know. The song
Wasteland
is.
situation.
Um,
Who wants to call a song Baba O'Reilly? What a dumb song name. Dumb.
You're a dumb song.
It's a dumb song.
so I could go a little campy. I'm gonna go campy, but not like so campy. I'm gonna pick because I'm gonna lose because Scott got really excited about Gypsy. I'm gonna pick "Hurt So Good" by John Cougar.
Hurt so good. Come
because I love this song.
like
I don't know
it.
why. It's just really, really funny. To
Vince,
me.
I can always count on you because if we're gonna have a 30-track mix that comes out on this to keep me on my toes whenever I listen to that mix all the way through. I can always pick
It's
up the
coming
Vince
up.
tracks.
When's Vince's song coming up?
Sometimes
Love don't feel like it should, but it hurts so good.
John Cougar, now John Mellencamp, had a role in my story of the worst concert I've ever seen, which was the Wallflowers opening for John Mellencamp. Wherein Jacob Dylan got incredibly pissed at the audience for not standing up and being into the show and threatened
The
to
show
walk
opener.
off stage. Yeah, the
Wow.
opener. Threatened to walk off stage and changed all the lyrics to his songs to insult people in San Antonio. It was a real good time, man.
Sixth Avenue heartbreak indeed.
Indeed.
So where did John Cougar play "Hurt So Good" in this show?
But all I remember is what happened with the Wallflowers. I remember none of the John Mellencamp set. I'm very sorry to tell you.
I like this song more than I like Jack and Diane. I think the video is fun. He dresses like Rufus. He looks exactly like Rufus Wainwright in this video. Also,
He doesn't. I don't think he dressed up
He's-
as Rufus Wainwright.
As everyone knows, John Cougar Mellencamp is an icon of gay style and fashion. I'm kind of kidding. I mean, an accidental icon, but an icon nonetheless.
I like this song.
All right, good pick.
It was either that or "Eye of the Tiger," and I felt like that might be a little too much for this list.
Ugh.
Look, leave it to the dad on the show to pick a John Cougar Mellencamp song. It's only right.
I didn't even know I was doing that.
Do we want to do our pour outs now or our pour outs
Yes,
after the
please.
selection? Who Chase, what do you got any pour outs?
I've got one big one. I really friggin' love "Heat of the Moment" by Asia.
Yes, me too.
That was on my list.
That
It's
is a good
such
song.
a good
I
song.
love that song, Chase. Good idea.
So I pour one out for that. I think the rest could possibly still be in play. So I won't
Oh,
say what they
interesting.
are.
Dylan, you seem to have some you really wanted to pour out.
Well, there was one that I don't think fits, but God, I love the song. "Always on My Mind." Willie Nelson.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's totally
There's a
true.
great synth pop song from Yaz called "Situation,"
Yes.
which I really like, and to me, it
I don't
feels
actually
like
know
the
who that
80s.
is. I don't actually know who that is. I was just repeating the band name that you.
Yaz.
Yeah, they
If you
did,
go
they did
to
several duets with Queen.
if you go to YouTube, yes, that's right. If you go to YouTube and look up the song "Situation" by Yaz and play it, you'll recognize it maybe, but it sounds more 80s than any song that's ever
Unfortunately,
been
there was a birth control pill named Yaz, I believe.
That's right. So if you just Google Yaz on its own, you won't get the band.
Yeah.
I would like to pour one out for PYT by Michael Jackson.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe my
Yeah.
favorite Michael Jackson
Yeah.
song.
I think so.
And
All right.
mine was "Who Can It Be Now" by Men at Work.
Oh, I like that one.
I didn't realize "Blister in the Sun" was 1982 either.
Oh shit!
Did you
That's
guys
why
know
Michael
that?
wasn't invited. on the
That's
podcast.
why Michael's
He
so
was
mad
invited.
listening to this right
He
now.
was invited.
All right, I have 3 songs to choose from. They are "I Ran So Far Away" by A Flock of Seagulls, "Gypsy" by Fleetwood Mac, and "Hurt So Good" by John Cougar. Good selections, everyone. I feel like I tipped my hand a little too early. I'm picking "Gypsy" by Fleetwood Mac.
Yay!
But these are going to sound fine, just fine on our mix. So we move on to 1983. Chase is the judge. Dylan, you have the first pick.
Chase, what are you looking for here?
Well,
What are you trying to do, man? Every
I'll
time.
say this. I kind of played by the house rules of not researching, but I said this in our planning group today. There is one song that if somebody brings it out, I'm not even going to listen to the rest of the suggestions. So,
I don't think I have it because I've got a pretty short list for this year.
and
Right?
I say that not having looked back. I did just check to make sure where this song was because I was like, where is this? And I couldn't put it anywhere. So I do know there's another really great 80s album that I believe belongs in the top 10 that's in this year. So whatever. Let's see what happens. I don't care. Impress me.
I'm going to pick a very 80s track that you should know, but you maybe don't know. If you haven't heard it, you'll listen to it, you'll recognize it. Ain't Nobody by Rufus and Shaka Khan.
Ain't nobody loves me better, makes me happy, makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody loves me better.
Anybody?
No idea.
No idea.
Don't
Okay.
know it by the
Alright.
name. I don't know it by the name. I'm so sorry. I know Shaka Khan though, and I like Shaka Khan.
When you get to it
Guys.
on the play mix, that's not right. Playlist.
Yeah, you want one or the other, playlist or mix, not play mix.
When you do this track on your play mix, I think you'll dig it.
All right.
Come on, Dylan, man. I've only got 2 years to judge, and you give me one I don't even know.
Listen to it real quick while Scott talks.
Well, we will have, yeah, exactly. we will all have heard it when you listen to this because we'll be playing the songs. Vince, you have the next pick for 1983.
I think I got this. I think me and Chase mind melded here. He said it was a Game Over song, and Game Over makes me think of video games.
Now hang on. Before you say it, if Vince gets it, do I still get to make my pick? What's gonna happen?
Scott,
let
me reassure you that by this lead-in, Vince is very wrong.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Vince.
Video games, which means Tron, which means Separate Ways, Someday Love Will Find You by Journey.
Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you. Oh, we touched our way on separate ways.
Oh my God, I do. That is one of my favorite Journey songs. So it's a pretty good call.
It's the
I love
best
that
Journey
solo.
song.
I was watching. I turned on Palladia a couple years ago. Last time I ever watched Palladia somehow, and it was a live Journey thing with whoever the new guy is. It was recently, but they were playing Separate Ways and just fucking wailing on the guitar.
That song rules.
It was great. It was really great. I think I paused and Kia was like, "What are we doing?"
It's a pretty good one. It's an underrated Journey song because, like, there's some underrated Journey songs out there. Lights, I think, is pretty underrated, but this is a banger. This is an underrated Journey banger.
Yeah.
It's not, Any Way You Want It. It's not Don't Stop Believing.
Oh God! If I never
way
hear
over-
"Don't Stop Believing" again, it will be too soon.
100%
And
agree.
this is my problem with Journey. They've kind of had like a moment for like the last maybe 8 years, 6 years, whatever.
It's just those Sopranos. When was that? It's 2007.
Sopranos and Monster as well. I believe Don't Stop Believing got really big after Monster.
And then Glee, man. It was Glee that ruined it all.
that did
They
it too.
put the
And
nail
so-
in it.
It's just everywhere.
But all that to say, Vince, I like this pick. I like the slightly underrated pick from a mega popular band. I'm
And it's
always
a fucking
for that.
It's a fucking 80s song.
No one will disagree with you there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that, Dylan.
Okay.
Ain't nobody know that.
Ain't nobody know that.
All right, well, you'll dig it. You'll dig it.
I'm excited to
I
listen
was
to it.
watching the
It sounded
video.
good.
Sorry.
It sounded good. All right. It's my turn to pick. Man, you screwed me up with this game changer, Chase, because I've got to. I mean, I told you earlier my number one for this year was This Must Be the Place. That's off. So I've got 4 songs here I'm looking at, all pretty good, but I don't know which one you're going to consider that game changer.
Well, now I'm worried we're not going to pick the game changer.
I don't think we're going to pick the game changer.
I don't
gotta
think
tell
you are either.
I'm looking at these 4. I don't think any of them are the game changer. So here's what I'm going to do. I chose a Joy Division song that didn't make it, so I might as well choose a New Order song that's not going to make it. And I'm going to choose Age of Consent.
And I'm not the kind that likes to tell you just what you want me to. You're not the kind that needs to tell me about the birds and the bees.
I don't know it either.
Oh, man, really? Dang.
Vince, you picked
Really, the only
song.
New Order I like
Someday.
or that I know is Bizarre Love Triangle. Sorry.
Oh, dang.
Blue
Dang.
Monday.
Age of Consent has one of the best bass lines of all time. All right, well, you'll like it when you hear it, I bet.
Man.
No one picked that game changer.
Blue Monday, that's an orgy song.
You guys are blowing my cred on this podcast here. I put down Rush. I put down Flock of Seagulls.
These are
you guys
things-
put down
these are
cool
things
shit
you
like
did.
New Order, and I don't even know it.
These are things you did.
Hey, now you're stuck picking the Journey song.
You
You're like a real
bastard.
noob.
You're right. I mean, what else am I gonna do?
You could pick mine.
You could pick mine.
Dude, no. If I was gonna pick one that I didn't, I would definitely pick Age of Consent over Ain't Nobody.
Why? You don't know either of them.
But I know I'm gonna like New Order more than Rufus and Shaka Khan.
You don't know that. You don't know that. Actually, you might not. I know that Scott's really going to dig it.
If we take
I
a
like
break,
it.
let me take a listen to him, and maybe we'll come back. But
Take a break.
So are you choosing separate ways?
I'm choosing Separate Ways.
Yeah.
I know it's so I know it's so unapologetically, horribly male white of me, but just I like it. I'm glad Journey could show up in a positive context because
Yeah,
it's not
I
often you
agree.
get to talk about them positively these days, like we said.
Can I guess? It's on my list. Can I guess what your game changer was?
Yeah, let's hear it, guys.
Was it "I Love L.A." by Randy Newman?
Oh, I wish.
No,
Was it
but I
Total
had
Eclipse of the Heart?
yes, that is actually it, Vince.
Was it really?
I
Really?
fucking love that song.
Wow.
Music is not like that song. That song is an outlier of being
Tyler
huge and bombastic and dripping with emotion and cheese. Max Weinberg played the drums on that song. Did you know
I
that?
didn't know that. That's amazing.
It's so good, and it was originally like a Meatloaf song, but with Bonnie Tyler just
Yeah,
crushing
yeah.
it, dude. It's like 7 minutes. Ah,
Yeah, it's fucking long.
karaoke though has has ruined
Soured.
it.
Yeah.
But
It
I
repeats
love
the
it.
same lyrics over and over again. It's hard.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be a good karaoke song, but it takes too long to get to its good part.
Yeah. So since now it's impossible because they didn't put any more material out after this, I'd like to pour one out for the Police, who I can't believe didn't make it on here.
Yeah. Their
You know,
7 years
most
of
of
bad
their
luck has
albums-
begun.
Most of their album, well, what was it? 78, 79, 80, 81, and 83 was Synchronicity. Which if I was doing this year, I would have put Total Eclipse of the Heart. I would have done King of Pain by the Police. I love that song. Or Synchronicity too. So anyway,
Well,
they
hey,
broke up in '85. No more music. So
Did you know that there was a failed Broadway show called Dance of the Vampires? Have you heard about this?
no.
There's videos of it that you can find. It wasn't that long ago. It was in New York, and it was so bad that people would started to go just to like laugh at it. And I think in the show they started to like cheese it up too because they realized how bad it was. But they do a version of Total Eclipse that was adapted to be about vampires.
Oh my gosh, that sounds horrible.
Sounds like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
And
Another
you kind of I don't know if any of us would have picked it. I think all of us were in mime troupe in middle school, minus Chase.
Chase wasn't.
Chase
I don't know if Vince was either. I think it was
I
just
didn't.
you
I
and
didn't
me,
go to
bro.
your middle
What
school.
the hell is Mime Troop?
Mime, as in
Mime.
pantomime.
Oh, mime.
The great tradition of pantomime.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
We did do a mime scene to the song "Total Eclipse of the Heart," though.
It was about drunk driving, maybe.
No, I think it was about peer pressure. It was
It was about peer pressure.
drugs, alcohol, and couldn't have been sex. I don't know what the third one was. Something else kids do.
Heroin.
Heroin,
Well,
that's what it
sorry
was.
guys. Sorry about '83. I
That's
feel like
okay.
a bust.
Hey, listen. We got 3 good songs there, and after 4 years, everybody's on the board.
Yeah.
How about
It's
we're all
that
winners.
game. It's 1-1 to 1-1.
it is 1 to 1
To
to 1
one.
to 1. We move on now to 1984. Dylan is judging, and Vince has the first pick. And Vince just rode away on a motorcycle. He didn't want to make a pick, so he rode away on a motorcycle.
Sorry for my paper thin windows out here.
Okay, we're just gonna have to do another episode because this is actually a pretty ripe decade. I'm gonna pick
This year is stacked.
Yeah. There's a lot of songs here, but I'm gonna go with my camp song. I'm going with "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" by Wham.
Wake me up before you go, go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up before you go, go. I don't wanna miss it when you hit that high. Wake me up.
Dylan, you're not gonna pick it. I know.
Who just sighed?
I like. Oh, sorry. This is a good pick, Vince. I like that you picked this, but before you prefaced it with saying there's just so many songs we're gonna have to do another episode. And this is
And then he picked.
I'm
Wake Me
literally
Up
looking
Before
at
You
what
Go.
are you holding on to that you didn't make it?
I'm picking. I've got like other songs here, and I'll put them out in the pour and out section. I'm like, there's a song here that I think Dylan would actually be like more responsive to, and I know he's not gonna like my Wham song. But "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" is fucking catchy. It's fucking fun. It's just a delightful song.
This thing's gonna be on that mix now.
Yeah, it
Sure
is. It's gonna be
is.
great. It's gonna be right
Sure
there
is.
after 3 songs after "Ain't Nobody."
You're gonna be New Order's game changing new wave anthem "Age of Consent" will just have finished. That sweet bass line will fade away, and then you're gonna hear Jitterbug. Jitterbug. And every time you're gonna go, God damn it, Vince.
Oh my God.
I mean,
what have you done?
the last time I listened to mixes, every time one of my songs came on, I'm like, all right, this mix is pretty awesome. So if nothing else, it was for me. I love this song. This is my favorite Wham song. I like it more than Faith.
My favorite Wham song.
Faith is not Wham. Faith is George
It's
Michael.
not George Michael.
What? He can still be on the table? All right.
Yeah, that's right. Faith is still on the table. Oh God damn it! I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be on the table.
A hell of a year, folks.
Let's move on. I have the next nomination. There is an artist who came out with an album this year. It's a very popular album. There's a lot of very popular songs off of it, and I'm looking at two right now, and I kind of can't decide between them. Dylan, can I ask the questioner a question?
The question?
I said you're the questioner. Can I ask the questioner a question?
Yes.
You've just listened in full to "Wake Me Up Before You Go" by Wham. Do you want something that is still a bit cheesy, or do you want something that's a little more heartfelt? You get to decide the playlist now. That's the power I'm putting in your hand.
Or
I
listen to Age of Consent, which I really like, and then I skip to the next song.
Well, in that case, do you want to listen to something kind of cheesy or more heartfelt? And they're the same artist.
I trust that it's not going to be very cheesy, so I think maybe cheesy.
Okay. All right. So Bruce Springsteen put out Born in the USA this year, the album. I have a love-hate relationship with Bruce Springsteen, but I kind of love the cheesiness and the synths on this album. So I'm going to suggest Dancing in the Dark.
You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark.
Hell yeah.
Good pick. I like
I
it.
had that on mine.
I just read on Twitter yesterday, Colin Malloy said he would love to hear Born in the USA with all the synths stripped out, and I don't agree with him. I love fucking like working class, hard ass Bruce Springsteen, like getting down to a groovy synth line. I'm all about it.
See, I would really love the Decemberists if you did like stripped out Colin Malloy's voice completely.
Ooh.
Burn on Colin Malloy. I like it.
You got burnt, Colin.
You burnt Colin.
It's
all
true
right.
though.
All right, all right, Chase. Round us out for 1984.
Oh, guys, this is so hard. All right, forget it. I'm gonna do "Take on Me" by a Hawk.
Oh, okay.
I love this song. I think I some of the best vocals. I think to hit top 40 radio, especially from a rock band. That high note is just. I love it. I can't get over it.
It's insane. It's really
That song
insane.
is just. I mean, it's so catchy. It's so bouncy. It's so bright. The lyrics are great.
Great video.
Excellent video. And that whole album is good. I don't know. Chris Martin says that Coldplay wouldn't be Coldplay without a Ha, so I don't know
Oh.
if that's a good thing for us.
Interesting.
On the record, I loved the first half of Coldplay's career. Anyway.
Hey, I'm with you.
But
I'm with
yeah,
you.
Take on Me. Take on Me. I sing it every time I'm in a car. I mean, just I'll go for the high note every time. Every time.
Every time you get into a car,
Every time that is on in the car. Mr. Literal.
you just like jump into an Uber and then
What? I didn't hear
Every time you hop in an Uber, you're like, jitterbug.
Oh,
no one does that.
of course not. So yes, I guess Dylan, you should do pour outs first, right?
should I or should you?
You
I
should.
don't have any pour outs. I didn't pick anything.
You didn't pick anything? Well, okay, since we're done, I guess I was last. I don't know. They could get picked again, so I don't want to ruin them.
Yeah, there's one album this year that didn't get picked, and I don't know if there are singles from it to come, so I don't want to say anything.
I do have another one-hit wonder that's not going to get picked again. I guarantee.
Okay, go for it.
Forever Young by Alphaville.
Ooh.
Don't know it. Oh yeah, of course I know it. Of course I
You know
it.
Forever
Yeah,
Young.
Yeah, I do.
And then 99 Left Balloons. I don't think it's.
Oh,
I saw
that's a
that.
good
Yeah,
one.
I saw that.
Can I real quick pour out "Every Day I Write the Book" by Elvis Costello, which is one of my favorite songs, but just didn't get in there. But I love that song.
Pour it out.
Dylan, would you have been more responsive to "What's Love Got to Do with It"?
I think he would have.
Sure, man.
All right. Well, the songs
then
the songs you do have to choose from are "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" by Wham, "Dancing in the Dark" by Bruce Springsteen, and "Take on Me" by Aha. Dylan, what are you picking?
Look, I do like all these songs. You don't have to laugh at that. I like "Take on Me." I'm worried about how it's gonna age. I really do like it. I like listening to it.
31
How
years
it's gonna
later.
age? It's fucking 32
How it's
years
gonna
old.
age? How it's gonna age for me? You see what I'm saying? It was like my gateway into '80s music when I first started feeling like I discovered '80s music when I was in high school. I'm gonna pick "Take on Me" by All.
Whoa! Come from
Curveball.
behind. All right.
Ace takes the
Can't be
lead.
disappointed.
So through the first 5 years of the 80s, these are our definitive 80s decade songs. "Once in a Lifetime" by Talking Heads, "Under Pressure" by Queen and David Bowie, "Gypsy" by Fleetwood Mac, "Separate Ways, Someday Love Will Find You" by Journey, and "Take on Me" by Aha. We've now
Hey, I'm kind
moved-
of surprised that Chase, you really haven't heard "Age of Consent"?
No,
I bet when you hear it, it will sound familiar.
Yeah,
Should
I think
put
that you
myself
have.
on mute and check it out? I'm sure I
it's
have,
good.
guys.
It's
There
good.
was a girl I was really trying to get with freshman year that loved them, so there's no way I wasn't trying to listen to it.
Clever girl.
I would bet money that you've heard it and that you know it.
We move on to 1985, the year of 3 of our births. And Vince, you get to judge. Oh,
Happy
and I have the
birthday to
first
me.
pick. I have the first pick, don't I?
Yeah.
Ho humdinger. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, I'm not going to overthink this. There's a big song. There's a popular song. I think Vince will know it and like it. It's from a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think I have a good chance with this one. It's "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" by Tears for Fears.
Ooh, good pick. That was on my board. I love that song.
It's
From
a
the
terrific
series
song.
finale of
Yeah.
Powderpuff Girls.
It's exactly what I was
That's
thinking.
what he was thinking. That's what we were all
when
thinking.
I chose it.
Damn, Scott, you picked. I was gonna do Head Over Heels.
Ah, well, you still can if it doesn't get picked.
Hey,
I
but
thought
Scott's
it
is
was.
a
I
better
thought it's
song.
if it's put on the board at all.
No. You can if an artist is nominated but their song isn't picked, you're free to nominate them again.
Well, I definitely won't do that.
Chase, spoiler alert, I don't know what Head Over Heels is, and I've got stuck. Wanted Head Over Heels, and I know that's not the right song.
Vince, it's the
Well,
first of many
We're
Tears.
fucked.
It's the first of many Tears for Fears songs that gets played in Donnie Darko. Head Over Heels.
I only saw that once.
Okay,
It's
well
one of
then,
the best
never mind.
uses of music. in film.
Scott, will you help Vince out by singing part of the chorus for him?
Oh, I know everybody wants to rule the world. I just don't know Head Over Heels.
It doesn't go. It
It's
doesn't
not
go
that.
like that. Doesn't go like that.
Something happens and I'm head over heels.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know,
Bow, 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 bow,
I was gonna
bow.
say the piano line is more iconic, I think, than the chorus, but
It's
that's
so
neither
good.
here nor there.
Everybody wants.
I wanted to be with you. That's the one that I do at karaoke when I'm a little overconfident.
Oh,
that's a good
yeah,
karaoke
yeah.
pick. I like that.
Knocks me right back down.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
he's got
a
a
good-
beautiful voice.
We all need those that we think we can do, and
Yeah.
even though we've done them and they didn't go well, we still kind of think we could.
Aspirational karaoke.
Yeah, I'm for it. You gotta have dreams.
Hey, I am convinced, and I haven't proved this yet. I need to find a scientist to help me test my hypothesis that the notes in the karaoke room get a little bit higher than they are in your car.
yeah,
Probably
I think
true.
that's totally true.
I think Aha is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Aha.
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 It's the aha theory.
But the song is daring you. It's saying take on me, and I do it.
Chase, you have the next pick for 1985.
All right, so things worked out here for me. Seeing literally for 1985, I wrote 2 songs. That was it. And I'm definitely gonna have to do this here because I can't do their other song in '87 that I'm judging. And I would have to put my favorite band of all time on here, and that would be The Replacements with Bastards of Young.
When all the sounds of
Vince loves this song. Just kidding. Vince has definitely never heard a replacement song before. Have you, Vince?
No, because I'm getting them confused with whatever. No, I don't know them.
You don't even know
Did
who
you,
you're confused with.
I'm
You're not
getting
gonna-
confused with the band from Now, Volume 1 that sings and casts shade on Beck and stuff.
The New Radicals?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Chase is going to hang up. Chase is going to hang up. Please don't hang up, Chase. Chase, please don't hang up.
This is travesty. Vince, did you ever see Adventureland?
No, I did not see that.
Okay, well, it starts and ends with replacement songs. So next time
I've seen Zombieland, but I have not seen Adventures.
Yeah.
How many
Same thing.
replacement songs are in
It's got
Zombieland?
Jason Jet Lex Luthor in it. Jesse
Yeah.
Eisenberg.
Yes, that's his name.
Jason Jet Lex Luthor.
Anyway, sorry, 1985.
Dylan, do you have something that Vince does now?
Maybe. Oh, I really like that replacement song. I've got a lot here. I've got ones I could pick that would be. Oh, you got too many songs. I'm gonna pick the one that I have on here first. Money for Nothing, Dire Straits.
Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. Get your checks for free. We got to install microwave oven, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move.
Oh,
I was wondering if they're going to show up.
I
Yeah.
had Walk of Life on my list.
Oh,
excellent
but I
songs.
know I can't hear that without thinking of that damn Walk of
I know,
Life project.
I know.
Oh, it's so great.
If you don't know the
Da-da-da-da-da.
The Walk of Life project is where people put the song Walk of Life at the end of any movie. So like The Graduate or There Would Be Blood or other
Fury
movies.
Road.
Well,
Yeah,
the project
Fury
and the
Road.
theory is, you should say that it will work as the closing credit song for any movie.
And boy does it.
Oh man.
Boy does it ever. Yeah. I love Dire Straits, man. I can talk about Dire Straits all damn day.
Severely underrated.
So underrated. And Mark Knopfler as a musician, super underrated. Tell you what, listen to, I didn't put it on my list at all because no one's heard it. No one would ever pick it. It's off. I think they're, I don't know what album it's off of. I'm not going to try to say. If you've not heard it, listen to the Dire Straits song Wild West End. Man, that's a terrific song. Beautiful song. Anyway, but that's not from 1985. Vince, you have 3 songs to choose from in 1985. They are Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Bastards of Young by The Replacements, and Money for Nothing by Dire Straits.
Okay, so fun fact, I didn't also know Money for Nothing, but I was muted while you guys were talking because you also
Of course you know Money for Nothing.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
just
do.
listened.
Never
Yes,
heard that
you
before?
do.
Ever?
Nope.
It's
I've
it's
never-
it's the I want
you know what
my
it's in?
MTV
It's in
song.
that Weird Al Yankovic film. I know
UHF.
you've heard of that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't help me. I haven't actually seen UHF.
You've
even though
heard-
it was
you've
on
heard-
Comedy Central every day.
I Want My MTV.
No.
You've
not
heard it.
cool.
You've heard. Oh my God, Vince.
That's Sting singing the hook.
Vince.
Okay, but I did listen to Bastards of Young and Money for Nothing because I do real good research for this show. I liked the replacement song a lot. I really did. So I'm actually gonna take that one.
No way!
Wow.
What
I
a
will vouch-
victory!
Chase is cleaning up, guys. It's 3 to 1 to 1 to 1.
It was kind of fun. It
Wow.
was kind of funky. I'm into it. I'm gonna check out more of it. I like Everybody Wants to Rule the World, but it's a little long for my taste.
You mean it's a little long to listen to at the time that you were muted?
No, I know Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's from the Powerpuff Girls finale.
Oh, that's the one
Lucas.
that you did know.
We've
Okay.
established that.
Vince, start with that record. Tim, just start there. Listen to that whole thing and you're good.
Oh, Chase, he's not going to listen to the record.
Well,
Yeah, well, I listen to deep album cuts.
I think Vince.
He and him told me to listen to Say Anything. I listened to that whole album. Even
that's
the
right.
it's a good album.
Vince, can I ask you a question?
Word up.
Have you purchased or subscribed to a music streaming service yet?
I subscribe to the Amazon Prime Music.
He does actually. He's got you there. That is one of them.
It's a wonderful service, and I don't work for Amazon.
Is it the dad version of Spotify?
Yeah, well, they auto ripped every CD I've ever bought off of Amazon for the last 15 years, and they put that in my list digitally anyways, so it's pretty sweet.
So are you only listening to the albums that you bought on your Amazon streaming service?
Yeah, well, then they have like other like deep cuts. Like they have Natalie Imbruglia, and they have the new Weezer album. So I did not have to buy the new Weezer album. So
Well, that's good.
so I saved myself $10.
Good for everybody.
It's good for everybody.
Weezer not around the 80s quite yet, although heavily influenced by the 80s. So
Yes.
and work with a producer who shows up a lot in the 80s and hasn't shown up yet, and I don't know if he will, but I just want to throw that out there. We move on to 1986. I am judging. Chase, you have the first nomination.
Man, this one's a tough year for me. I could go with another genre standout that generally doesn't get any love, or I could go with kind of another one-hit wonder, or I could go with a perennial favorite. Damn, guys.
Got a lot of
Go for
options.
the perennial favorite.
You want to do perennial favorite?
Yep.
Vince isn't judging, by the way, but
Yeah,
go
I
ahead
don't
and
think
take.
I'm gonna do
Go
that.
ahead
I
and
think
take
I'm gonna
whatever
do.
you
I
want.
mean, here's the thing. I don't really know much else by this band, and this seems like one of those where I say that, and Scott, you go, "Oh man, they're great," and then I go listen to them. So I'm gonna go with "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House.
Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Love that song.
I don't actually know much else by Crowded House. But
Yeah,
I like
maybe
the song.
this is it. I used to think it was like Thompson Twins or something. I didn't even know who it was.
I know,
but
I get them
always loved that
confused.
song. It has such this warm 80s blanket, man. Like, I just want to crawl inside of it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a good pick. Dylan, you're up next.
Now I'm kind of disappointed because I know that this song isn't going to make it onto our Spotify mix because the
okay.
artist is not on Spotify.
I think I know
I'm
where you're
going to pick it
going.
anyway.
Oh.
I'm going to pick Kiss by Prince.
Don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss.
Yeah, great song. And that's a good. We don't have a Prince song on here yet, and that's a real good one.
Can we do a title mix of this?
Never ever will we do that. But what I will probably do is put the as I did for the 70s, put the lullaby version on here, which I bet.
Oh,
pretty
great.
Good.
And if you can find like a Kid Bop version of this song, that'd be great too.
Yeah, you know that the Kids Bop Prince album. The Kids Bop version of Darling Nikki is just adorable.
Very appropriate.
Yeah. Talk about pouring one out for Prince. Vince, finish us up for 1986.
Dylan puts these songs that just I have to. Okay. Sorry. I'm picking Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins.
Oh God.
Jesus.
Highway to the danger zone. Riding through the danger zone.
God damn it.
How many Vince vetoes do we get?
I was saving all of my other Kenny Loggins picks, so I didn't do Footloose. I didn't do I'm All Right.
I would say I wish you had.
I'm all
just
right with
gonna
it
go
being
ahead and say
Caddyshack,
it.
though. That was 70s.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, then I couldn't do I'm All
Right?
Right. I'm
Caddyshack
sorry.
was 70s.
Wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
I don't know if that's true.
Was it
Or at least
know.
early 80s, right?
Who's the faster Google? Caddyshack was 1980.
I'm all right, Kenny
Wow.
Loggins, 1980.
Yeah, there you
Kenny
go.
Loggins was king of the movie theme song in the 80s.
I can't deny that.
I like Danger Zone. It's going to seem really weird coming after this Prince song, but it's a fun song. I enjoy
After
it.
the lullaby version of the Prince song that's going to be
Yeah.
on there. Yeah, it's going to be pretty weird.
You can hop on that highway to the Danger Zone. It's a dumb song. It's from Top Gun, and I like it.
All right. So I have 3 songs to choose from. I have Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House, Kiss by Prince, and Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. None of you gave me any Paul Simon this year, and I'm a little mad at all of y'all. But these are definitely 3 heavy hitter 80s songs. I think I got to go Prince. I know he's not going to
Yeah.
show up on our mix, but man, I'm just I like this one. I was really circling Purple Rain for 1984. But I'm a little, in the wake of his untimely passing, I'm a little over Purple Rain. It feels all of a sudden like the only Prince song anyone remembers.
Interesting.
And it bums me out.
That's a good point. For me, it was between this and, I don't think this ruins anything, Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel,
Oh, that's a good pick.
which I
Yeah, because In
I
Your
wish
Eyes was
I
going to be
could've-
mine from '86. That was the perennial hit.
That's good too. I was going to nominate. I was thinking of nominating "I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man" in 1987, which is one of my all-time favorite Prince songs. But I'm not going to do that now.
Good.
Because you haven't heard it. Yeah. That's the theme for today. Instead, we move on to 1987. Chase, is that the year of your birth, 1987, or you?
That actually is, Scott. Thank you.
87. That's right. I'm a considerate friend.
I do want to say we didn't really get to. Did we do pour outs on 86?
Oh, I'm sorry. Pour them out.
Yeah, my weird genre pick was "Raining Blood" by Slayer.
Yeah, that's a weird genre pick.
I love that song. Also, I did listen to Age of Consent on mute secretly, Vince style, and I do know Age of Consent. And while I won't do it, I could maybe say I would have changed my mind because I remembered it.
Oh, dang.
But no worries on that.
Journey
I would have done
wins.
Bizarre Love Triangle here for 86.
Oh, yeah. Another.
And then Weston Girls, Pet Shop Boys. This
Oh.
was the year.
Yeah, that's a good.
And there's still one other one that I'm not going to say because they could still get on this board.
Okay, we'll see. Dylan, you have the first nomination for 1987.
Okay, there's a couple of big hits, big pop hits, but I'm going to steer to the left of those for this one. I'm going to pick Girlfriend in a Coma, The Smiths.
Girlfriend in a coma, I know, it's serious. Girlfriend in a coma, I know, it's really serious.
Ooh, Dylan, you're clearly not paying attention because I am the person who enjoys the mopey white British music on this episode.
Apologies, my dear sir.
No, I'm just saying you should have pitched a Smith song to a year I judged. It probably would have.
Well, I was going to say, I'll say this now since they are on here. I was going to do either How Soon Is Now back in 84 or 85 because it was a single album thing going on there. Or I would have done There's a Light That Never Goes Out in 86.
Beautiful song.
But
Yeah.
besides that, man, I've listened to the Smiths all the way through once. And I like cover songs of the Smiths more than I like the Smiths versions.
Interesting. Vince, you have the next pick for 1987.
Yep, yes I do. I'm picking Got My Mind Set on You by George Harrison.
I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you.
Which I will say, that doesn't.
Sorry. I love that song.
Yeah.
I would submit that's one of the top 5 Beatles solo songs and maybe my
Yes.
favorite one.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's in the top 5 of George Harrison's songs. It probably is. I'll tell you what. This song is cheesy as hell, and it's my kind of cheese, and I like it.
Yeah,
It's a delicious cheese.
but is it Chase's kind of cheese? That's the
It's
question.
my kind of cheese.
Also,
Bad, man. I don't think I come off very well in this podcast.
just the dumbest video of all time, and I love it.
I've never
Holy
seen
shit, it's dumb.
It's
Holy
just George
shit.
Harrison sitting in a chair playing guitar and singing the song, and there's like animal heads and like taxidermied animals all around him, and they start dancing and singing. And then at one point, he puts the guitar down and like slowly turns his back to the camera, and there's a terrible cut, and like a really obvious stand-in in a wig does backflips and dances for a while, and then sits back down, and it cuts again, and it's George Harrison. It's just hilarious.
How is this song as late as 1987?
Well, that's why the video's so bad because they're like, George, this new thing, MTV, you gotta make a great video. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
I'm George fucking Harrison.
Just do anything. I'll just show up.
This predates the Wilburys, doesn't it? Doesn't it slightly predate the
It
Wilburys?
might be contemporary with this.
It's got a very very traveling Wilburys sound.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, I do love the Wilburys.
I love my Wilburys. Good pick, Vince. All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Wilburys was 88.
There you go. So this is one of my favorite songs. It's my turn to nominate now for 1987. It is also my absolute 100% karaoke go-to, and for that I owe it something. I'm going to pick I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston.
Good pick.
This was on my list.
That's good. That's good stuff.
I want to feel the heat of somebody.
Look, there was a time when I had semi-retired this song from karaoke because I've done it a few times at karaoke, and I was at a karaoke birthday party last summer, and it was just not a great mesh of people, and things were not going well, and people weren't getting along. And a friend of mine and I pulled this song out, and I'm telling you, we saved the party. I'm telling you, because nobody doesn't like hearing this song.
Yeah, it's great. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, that was quick. Did it just
Yeah.
happen?
That was fast.
Yeah.
Apologies
Sorry, guys.
to the Smiths and George Harrison.
I
Hey,
just
a
think
lot
we
of
need-
Michael Jackson this year that we didn't pick.
It was between this and Smooth Criminal for me,
Yeah.
that would have been a good pick
which I
too.
love.
And then also George Michael father figure.
I Living on a Prayer was also this year, which
Sure.
I'm sure we're not going to mention much Bon Jovi for this podcast.
Hey, we still could. You're still here.
It's a big song. That's true. Straight up, that could happen.
You burnt, Vince.
All right, we move on now to 1988. Dylan is the judge, and Vince, get your anthem ready, rock. Ready. I wished I hadn't used that phrasing.
Anthem Ready Rock.
Because you have the first nomination.
I'm going to pick Straight Up by Paula Abdul.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really wanna love me forever? Oh, oh, oh. Or am I caught in a hit and run? Straight up now, tell me, is it gonna be you and me together? Oh, oh, oh. Or are you just having fun?
Ooh, I like this pick.
Very good.
I love this song. I love this song.
Disturbing lack of MC Scat Cat.
This wasn't directed by David Fincher, though,
This
right?
video did not have a cartoon cat, and it was not directed by David Fincher.
Okay. That was Opposites Attract, right?
That was Opposites Attract, yeah.
Okay. Director of Fight Club comes the Paula Abdul video. I love Straight Up. I think Me First and the Gimme Gimmes do a killer cover of this also on their most recent album.
Cool. I'll take the Paul Abdul version. That's good. Though.
I like this song, Vince.
Yeah, good pick. It's a shame that she's all doped up,
Oh, boy.
but Paul Abdul's great.
I'm up next. Okay. We're in 1988 and have nominated exactly 0 rap songs. So I'll get us going. This is not... NWA is a very important rap group. This is not the most important NWA song by a mile, but I fucking love this song. I really love it. It's Express Yourself.
All you got to do now is express yourself. I'm expressing with my full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities. Cause some don't agree with how I do this. I get straight and meditate like a Buddhist. I'm dropping flavor, my behavior is hereditary, but my technique is very necessary. Blame it on Ice Cube.
No.
because it's-
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
That is one of 4 that I put down.
yeah.
Excellent choice.
Just so much fun.
I love that song. Which Tony Hawk was it in? It was in 4, I believe.
I'll take your word for it.
Might have been
but
3.
it's definitely a Tony Hawk song. But yeah, I love this song. I love it so much. It's so much fun. NWA didn't always sound like they were having a lot of fun, but when they did, it was pretty awesome. We move on to Chase, the final nomination of 1988.
All right, so that made mine a little bit easier. I think what we have here, speaking from the man that kind of had to take up the torch for a generation and burned out, Mr. Kurt Cobain, this is kind of where Nirvana started, according to him. And I'm going to go with Where's My Mind by the Pixies. It's such a weird song, and yet so iconic, and it's just one of the. There's nothing that sounds like it. There really isn't, even though it's so simple.
For sure.
Was that this year? I thought it was another year.
It was '88, Surfer Rosa.
Oh, I must have been looking at something else. Great pick.
Right? Oh God,
Great pick.
am I wrong?
No.
it's 88.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
It's 88.
My wife will always tell the story of the time that she went to a music festival. I can't remember which one it was. And her friends that she was with drug her to see at another stage, some dumb jam band Fish-like thing. It might even been Fish, right? Not to bash on Fish, but Fish sucks. Instead of seeing
Thank
the
you for not
Pixies-
bashing Fish.
Instead of seeing the
Oh,
Pixies
you mean
on
Talking
another
Heads?
stage.
Or?
Yeah, that's right. And she'll regret it until the day she dies.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's
Because
that's
she's like
poor
with her
choice.
friend. She's like, yeah, okay, we'll go over here. But man, she could have seen the Pixies.
Was that ACL Fest?
I think it was ACL. I didn't
think
say it
I
'cause
was
wasn't
there.
sure.
I think I was there that year, and I would bet the band was String Cheese Incident. This is my
That
guess.
sounds right. It was either String Cheese Incident or like South Austin Jug Band,
Oh God,
which is another fucking just.
fuck the South Austin Jug Band.
One of my favorites.
I bet it was String Cheese Incident, and I bet I know what year this was. But
Did you see the Pixies
sucks.
that year?
I feel like I didn't.
Like,
I might have-
because you were front row at
I
String
was
Cheese Incident.
fucking jamming my buns off at String Cheese Incident. I think I might have booted it early to go to an after show at one of the clubs
Oh.
that during that set. But yeah, that sucks. That sucks for her. So Dylan, the songs you have to choose from are Straight Up by Paula Abdul, Express Yourself by NWA, and Where Is My Mind by the Pixies.
Hey, this is a strong board.
Very strong.
I might have just played my hand by talking for 5 minutes about the Pixies, but I'm going to pick Where's My Mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chase just dominating.
Oh,
this
fuck, I
episode.
forgot. Damn it. Oh,
Yeah.
What? Hey, come on now.
Is
Well,
that
I'd
4
rather-
for Chase. Yeah, 4
I
for
do
Chase.
want a good board, and I do want to pick a good list, but I also want me to win.
Well, you're bad news. You're not gonna win. You will not. Did anyone have any pour outs they want to do before we move on to 1989?
I only had 2 other songs that didn't end up on here.
Okay.
One of which was Under the Milky Way by The Church.
Okay.
And then Mother by Danzig.
I'm gonna pour one out for a pretty goofy 80s song that I really love, and that's "She Drives Me Crazy" by Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh,
That's a fun
sick
one.
choice.
Great
That's
song.
a fun one.
But I had to go with NWA, and I'm happy they're on the mix.
That was one of the first songs I remember ever
Killed
listening
it.
to. Because this was, my dad had just a ton of CDs, and he had this CD.
The Raw and the
And-
Cooked.
Yeah, and I would
Terrific
put it on.
album.
I don't know what it was about this song. Like when you're first discovering music, maybe it was like just so weird and so
It's so
interesting.
like bouncy and fun and
God, it's good.
yeah. It sounds like a kids TV show theme song. Like it sounds kind of like it's made for children. And that weird video of people like leapfrogging over each other.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, we will move on to the final year of the 80s, 1989. No one can dispute that. And Vince is the judge. I have the first pick. Oh, boy. I'm looking at this now. These don't look like Vince songs. Oh, man. Oh,
I can
man.
pull events. I'm known to do it.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to say this. Yeah, I want this on the mix. I'm going to choose, you might know this one. I'm going to choose Shake Your Rump by the Beastie Boys. I love
Does he know
Paul's-
it?
Probably
I
not off
don't.
the top. Not off the dome. I love Paul's Boutique. It's one of my absolute favorite albums, and Shake Your Rump just holds up. It's a
Yeah,
it's
great
a
pick from that
really
album.
good
I
song.
like it.
So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I-
Beastie Boys I'd thought about picking that is great on an album, but just on its own, it felt too weird to pick for a year, right?
Yeah, for sure. That happens a lot with him, or it just feels a bit, sophomoric, which is weird to say,
Yes.
but
yeah,
like,
yeah. I get what you're saying.
and that's what I like about Paul's Boutique. So yeah. That's
I tried to steer clear of Beastie Boys because Sabotage on the '90s.
Oh, you the whole decade done fucked.
I'm
them
all
up for
about
you.
I'm all about the metagame, y'all.
All right. Well, Chase, you get to get your metagame on. You're next with the
Oh, I know
nomination.
this song. Bare Naked Ladies covered it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Is that a real sentence, Vince? Or are you fucking with us?
He really
Nope,
said it.
Yep.
He really said it.
I know this one.
Uh,
It was like a sound test cover they put on one of their like rarities and B-sides albums.
You
Yeah.
gotta,
All
go,
right.
you gotta go deep into those bare naked B-sides.
Oh, that works on so many levels. Okay, so gosh, '89 was tough. I have two things here, and they're both in on technicalities. I think I've expressed my rock side, and I think I've also expressed my kind of somewhat one-hit wonders side, but I got to pick between the two here. I don't know if you're gonna know this, Vince, but it's a really great song. You're gonna hear it and you'll be like, "What? No!" And it's if you go back and listen to it, I think it's aged really well. And that's "The Look" by Roxette.
She's got the look. She's got the look. She's got the look. What in the world can make a brown-eyed girl turn blue? When everything I'll ever do, I do for you. And I go la 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 la. She's got the look.
Yes! No shit, Roxette and Fine Young Cannibals were, Dylan, like you were saying, for me, like the first two like cassettes I took out of my parents' collection that I was like, this is good. And I'm all about The Look by Roxette.
That's great.
I'm not judging, so it doesn't mean
What,
shit.
so what is the equivalent of that? So I'm like 10 or 11 years old, maybe like 9, I don't even know. Pulling that CD out of my dad's huge drawers full of albums and playing that. What is the equivalent of that as you as an adult if you have like a 10 or 9-year-old son and you're like, he picked Fine Young Cannibals? I've got all these CDs, that's what he's picking?
It's got to be someone who's not gotten completely ridiculed, right? So it can't be like Smash Mouth. Like, who is like a step above Smash Mouth that didn't get like the Smash Mouth treatment?
Lit.
Lit came to mind. Yeah.
But I'm not going to have a Lit album in my drawer for my kid to find.
I
Michael
don't
has
think
a
you have
lot of
any
Buck
albums
Cherry
in your
CDs.
drawers.
Buck Cherry. My children will never ever hear Buck Cherry if I can help it.
Fuck Cherry.
It's tough because I feel like I curate my music now better than my parents did, which was just literally like, especially like it's not going to happen, right? Because you're not going to have anything for them to go through. But my parents had every album they'd ever bought just like sitting in their house. So like
That's true. That
I
was
could
the
go
same
through all
thing,
this
yeah.
stuff that they maybe didn't like anymore.
But they bought it at the time because it was good for them for 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All that to say, I like The Look.
I have a story about The Look.
Go for it.
The first job that I had out of school in LA was transcribing for reality television shows. For reality TV, they record all these interviews and they need someone to transcribe them so they know what they have so they can easily search through these interviews and find the sound bits they want to use to cut them up and Frankenstein them later to make people look ridiculous. The first show I worked on ever was a show on TV Land that was like America's Next Top Model, but for women over 40. And it was called She's Got the Look, and this was the theme song.
Dude,
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
I was like, this is the theme song y'all got? And it's like the only place, well, I don't know. I was going to say it's the only place they spent money, but I'm sure that they didn't pay a lot for this.
No, that song would be expensive. Any song for a TV theme song.
Well, then maybe, well, it wasn't on me. That's not where they spent all the
They
money.
they blew all their budget.
They might have made their own version. Do you remember if it's the real one?
Ooh, that's a good question. I remember.
That'll cut the price in half at least.
You mean like just like almost sounds like it, but isn't quite it?
Yeah, just a cover.
I'm almost positive it was. It was it. It was not a cover.
We'll have to figure it out later.
Dylan, you get to make the very last nomination of the 1980s.
I could dive deep here. There's another Pixie song I was going to pick, but I'm not going to pick
Oh,
that.
me too. Here Comes
What?
Your Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love that song.
that was on my list for this year.
I'm going to pick Free Fallin', Tom Petty.
I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free falling.
Good call. Is this Full Moon Fever? I think
so.
it's, but yes, it is. It's Full Moon Fever, and Full Moon Fever is a really, really good album, and I believe it's the only album that's not Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's just Tom Petty.
He just did the one?
I think it's just the one. I'm pretty sure it's definitely his first without the Heartbreakers.
Yeah, it's his first solo record.
But
thought that was another one.
I like this album.
Yeah, this is a great song. I always love this song. I just think it's a great song. I have nothing else to say about it. No, that was it.
That's all he has to say. So, Vince, the songs you have to choose from are Shake Your Rump by the Beastie Boys, The Look by Roxette, and Free Fallin' by Tom Petty.
The Look is a fun kind of camp, but I don't... and I'm not a huge Tom Petty fan, so I'm going to take Shake Your Rump by the Beastie Boys. I'm glad you picked it, because I was looking on the list. I'm like, I'm not the guy to pick a Beastie Boys song, but I'm glad that they made their way on here. I don't know their oeuvre very well, but...
You're not a big Tom Petty fan?
No, I've never liked him. I don't like that Alice in Wonderland song that he has.
Have you heard this song?
Yeah, I know
Free
Free
Fallin'?
Fallin'. Yeah, me and Kia used to parody it with Free Ballin', yeah.
That's an important detail.
How could one forget?
Guys, we have the 1980s all sewn up, and here are the songs that define the decade that was the 1980s. Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie. Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac. Separate Ways, Someday Love Will Find You by Journey. Take On Me by Aha. Bastards of Young by The Replacements. Kiss by Prince. I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. And Shake Your Rump by the Beastie Boys. That's a good list.
It's a good list.
And you know what else is going to be a good list? The playlist that you can listen to right now. That's in the show notes. And
The Play Mix.
On the Play Mix that's on our
The Mix
social
Play.
medias. Guys, had a lot of fun as always. Once again, just want to remind you, check out our website, allmyfriendsareRightHere.com, and also please check us out on iTunes, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Find us on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for doing this, guys. I always have
What
fun.
what about 89 pour outs?
Do you want to do some pour outs for 89?
I only had one other song, and it's on a technicality. It was technically 88, but reissued. Waiting Room by Fugazi.
I'll go the exact opposite way. This was a
Or
pour out of
Fugazi, whatever.
This was a pour out of mine from 1990 too, because I believe the album came out in 89 and the single came out in 90, and that's The Dance by Garth Brooks. So apologies to The Dance, which I once again didn't nominate, but I once again think is a pretty good song, and I think is kind of important to country music history, but not picked. Dylan, do you have any pour outs?
Hey, brought him up earlier, but pour out to Michael Jackson, who's nowhere on this fucking list.
Nowhere. He just didn't. He just wasn't big enough in the 80s. I think that's the problem. He was really underground in the
Hadn't
80s.
hit his stride yet. And
sure
the
hadn't.
story about him finding child porn in his house is a little too fresh for me in my brain.
Sure, it's pretty
so-
fresh.
I'm not ready to.
I don't know if that
They
story's
did
going to
find
age
some
well.
heinous stuff recently. Some other things they came out with. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for him.
Well, on that note, thank you guys all for listening. Please join us next time for Vince, Chase, and Dylan. I'm Scott. I love you all so much.
Yes.
Bye.
Queen!
Nobody fucking choose We Are the World or we're boned.